Hi everybody, I'm Amy Fanschmidt and this is Caitlin Minnick, and welcome everybody to our Southwestern Drama Club production for 2022. This is Murder at the Renaissance Fair, and we are so proud of our kids for all of the hard work that they have put in this year. We have had them rehearsing 2 afternoons a week since August, so thank you all to the parents that have gotten your kids here and done all of the hard work of working with our schedules for this. We really appreciate all that you have done. Please check out our programs. We have a ton of thanks in there. It definitely takes a village to put together this production. We are so thankful to all of the people that have worked with us on getting this production put together. We have a lot of kids that are new to Drama Club this year, and we are very, very proud of all that they have accomplished. So we hope that you enjoy this afternoon's production.
Do a double take. Painted scenery, no big deal. You suspend disbelief, we pretend all of it. Starting your 7 o'clock, as for our mystery, suspects and avenues through. Pay close attention as we reveal. We will find deceptive clues. Don't have to pretend eat. That is it for our exposition. All is said and done. My noble lords and ladies, I beg you lend your ears as we unravel our misdeeds one by one at this, our Renaissance Fair.
As a reminder to the uninformed actors joining us today, the prologue provides context for the Renaissance Fair. It lays the foundation for the various works of Shakespeare that we will present.
We know this. Some of us have been at the Renaissance Fair
Since the Renaissance. I said the uninformed. Is our understudy here? Here. Good Lord. That is a child. Very well. Cue flourish of trumpets. Scene.
Wait, hold it, stop.
Excuse me. Stop. Why?
Well, did we get any word on that, explosion that happened 30 minutes ago?
Wait, has it really been 30 minutes already? It seems like we had just heard it.
I believe that was my head exploding. I don't know. It is so chaotic here. How anything has ever gotten done is a mystery to me.
Well, I don't think we should continue on without knowing what it was.
Jay, I am the director, not you!
It could be serious.
It is serious. Why else would we have bothered with the sound?
Maybe it was a sonic boom.
It's probably just construction going on next door. They're excavating for their 9 circles of hell attraction over at Medieval World. Time to go see what this wandering minstrel can go find out.
Paris, good. You're here. What is going on? I have a rehearsal I need to get underway.
Boom. What was it?
There was an explosion at the food pavilion across the bridge. The deep fryer at the corn dog hut blew up.
The corn dog hut? An explosion?
Was anyone hurt?
It's ghastly, a complete loss of...
Please don't say a complete loss of life.
I wasn't going to. Wheaties, it's a complete loss of Wheaties. Hundreds of cases have been destroyed and there's bits and pieces of hot dog everywhere. The seagulls are going crazy.
It's just like that one movie with all those birds. What was that movie called again?
I believe it was called Bird Brain. The corn dog hut, isn't that where Lady Prudence takes her lunch at this time every day?
You're right. Lady Prudence does like her corn dogs.
Lady Prudence was there, and somehow she was the only one hurt. But I don't really know her condition. It's touch and go.
If you know anything about Lady Prudence, I don't touch. Just go.
I could play a role if fun needed.
I'm sure your ambition will be a great comfort to her.
It's a miracle she was the only one hurt, but we'll have to press on without her.
Yes, we need to press on. New guy, re-enter, now.
My name is Will.
Whatever. Flourish of trumpet. Scene, Mr. Hastings.
Lord Hastings, what news? How fares the Queen?
The Queen, my lord, is dead.
Long live the Queen!
Sorry, that was my bad.
What news now, Lord Hastings? How fares the Queen?
The Queen, my lord, she's dead.
Long live the Queen!
Sorry, once more.
How fares the Queen now, Hastings? What news?
The Queen is dead.
Long live the Queen!
Cut! 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 You said cut! I said cut! Why are we stopping? Am I missing something? A cerebrum, perhaps? Am I not being clear? I think I'm being clear. One line. Doesn't seem like that much of a problem. Maybe it is. She's dead. The Queen is dead. We know the Queen is dead, you absolute twigs! Get on with it! Ellen, as I have constantly reminded you, there's one director and one director only!
Oh, my humble apologies, ye of exalted importance. What is this working with another, better director?
Sarcasm noted. Thank you so much. We know the Queen is dead, you twit. Get on with it. Why does everyone keep saying long live the Queen if the Queen is dead?
I know you did not just ask that because even I know that.
Meaning what?
I assume that means she knows that and not much else.
Pardon me, what are you saying?
It's not what I'm saying, it's what you're saying. You are the one who said that even you know that. I assume that means you know that and not much else.
Obviously, you're just jealous of my youth and beauty.
Yes, my lifelong dream has been to be you.
That makes 0 sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like your comment. It's a non sequitur. It doesn't make sense and it's not supposed to. Why would I be jealous of your youth and beauty?
Because you're a broken down, grumpy old hag. And I positively dazzle. I have youth and beauty and promise, and you're all played out.
We'll see about that.
Stop it! The two of you, stop! Since the day I arrived here, you have done nothing but bicker. I don't know what it's about, and quite frankly, I don't care. What I do care about is that I have had enough. Am I clear?
She started it.
Am I clear? When a king or queen dies, it is customary to bless the reign of a new monarch by saying, "Long live the queen," or king. In this case, Queen Mary is dead and Elizabeth I takes over. Some historians say that this was the beginning of the English Renaissance. Gone. Now I remember. Queen Mary is gone, falls in love with Braveheart, Liz throws a fit, chops off her sister's head, and becomes the new queen.
None of that happened. Not even during the movies in which you were texting and playing games on your phone.
Easy mistake.
Maybe for someone without an education.
Did you know everything when you were a young woman? All right, education hasn't been invented yet.
Wow, such razor sharp wit. Is this where you follow up with something like snap or burn?
No, bazinga.
There really are no gumballs left in the machine, are there? The globe really is empty.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I know. You can never find the theater manager when you need her. Where has Emma been for weeks? I need to review my contract. Where in it does it say that I'm required to work with morons?
I'm sure it's in the fine print somewhere. Emma will be back shortly.
Good, because in the month and a half Emma has been missing, the Renaissance Fair has gone to pieces. If we have missing actors, bizarre accidents, it's bedlam.
Now that Emma's back, I expect everything to return back to normal. But you'll have to bear with her. There's been a lot of changes during her absence. First on our list will be finding a new lady cruiser.
Please pick me! Getting rid of this doofus would be a good start too. Hey, Will is not a doofus. Then he is doing an amazing job of fooling me.
I know for a fact that Will's not a doofus because we're dating.
Alright, so make that doofus times 2 then? What's the plural of doofus? Is it doofuses or doofi?
Paris, a word. Excuse us a moment. This has been a very stressful morning.
You can say that again.
I don't want to say that again. I want to put it behind me. One thing I'm unclear about. Who is this Jackanops?
You can't call him that.
Don't think I don't know what that means.
Please, Will, stagger us with your etymological brilliance.
Jackanapes.
It's an impertinent, impudent, presumptuous person. It's an archaic word.
I bet you know all about archaic.
Allow me.
Bazinga! Burn!
His name is William. William Loveminer.
Love Minor. Certainly a theatrical name. One that falls far short of its pretensions.
He goes by Will.
Whatever he goes by, why is he here? Is he some random person you have plucked off the street to fill in for Richard Brisbane's understudy? Where's the real understudy? When does he get here?
I'm not sure how to say this.
Start with English and proceed from there.
Will is Richard's understudy.
Surely the Earth has fallen off its axis and drifted into an alternate dimension.
Look, I never thought it would come to this.
But it has come to this, hasn't it? The sum of all fears has been realized. Where, pray tell, does someone find someone like young Will? I can't imagine how one finds such an unpolished, unskilled actor. Just saying the word actor makes me nauseous.
Here's his resume.
This is who you hired to take the place of the greatest Shakespearean actor of our time? The manager of the Turkey Lake Concession!
Marcus, there's a story.
How could there not be a story? Had we not plucked young Will from obscurity, this time next year he could have been managing the lately blown up corn dog concession. Harris, I wonder if there's a medical condition that I need to be aware of that you suddenly have gotten.
Look, Brielle, that is our new Ophelia, was a package deal. If we wanted her, we had to take the boyfriend. She drives a hard bargain, and I thought it'd be a moot point. Richard Brisbane has never missed a day of rehearsal in his entire life.
Well, now he has, and Richard Brisbane must be found. This boil on my far side has only been here for 5 minutes, and I already want him last! Whatever possessed me to come to this parody of an imitation renaissance? Focus, Margaret, we mustn't lose sight. And what does young Will's relationship with Brielle say about Brielle? Have we misjudged her? Has she an ounce of self-respect?
You'll have to ask Brielle. Personnel is not my regular job. I've just been filling in for Emma doing her job as well as mine.
Yes, and what human's work it has been.
You're not serious, are you?
Not at all.
Look, anything to do with theater operations is now out of my hands.
Young Will, you do realize you are replacing an icon, right? Richard Brisbane is a hurricane of a man. He is a barrel-chested chap whose timber and presence on stage rattle the rafters and shake the very boards themselves.
Yeah, so I've been told. But here's the thing. All things must change. Changing the guard out with the old and with the new.
So deep, so very deep. May I quote you on that? That is such an original thought.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So you have no qualms about stepping in for Richard Brisbane?
No, why should I?
Well, for starters, your resume looks a bit scandal, though it seems to not match that inflated ego. And I'm not seeing any other experience other than your current role in your starring role at the Turkey Lake Concession. So, have you done any classics?
Yeah, I've done Tyrannosaurus Rex, the musical, The Importance of Being a Vampire, and A Streetcar Named Bruce. They all were written by my high school drama teacher. He was a brilliant man. Unpublished, but brilliant.
So it would seem. Have you done any Shakespeare?
Yeah, I did a modern rap version called Little Gambler. To be or not to be, so to see. That's the question that's bugging me. Gotta say, I ain't down to the ground. Those slings and arrows always bring me down.
That was horrible.
I may need a lobotomy.
I was nominated Best Actor by my fellow thespians.
Oh my, is he allowed to use that word in mixed company? Perchance did you win this Best Actor award?
They say being nominated is a win, right?
That's what the losers tell themselves.
In addition to your dearth of theatrical gifts, do you have any other talents or hobbies?
I'm pretty good at video games. Games of any sort, really. Word puzzles, anagrams, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that'll really come in handy here.
Oh, it'll come in handy.
Will, I have grave concerns about your ability to do the job at hand.
It's my first day, my first rehearsal. I never accepted the big man took a hike, but I'm a quick study. I can do this.
We don't know that the big man took a hike. We have no idea where he is. We hope and pray he will return to save us from certain humiliation, if there's nothing else.
A couple of questions. First, where is my phone? And when do I get it back?
Your phone is locked safely in my office across the river. It'll be returned to you on Sunday. Here, we've all agreed to go without phones. Do I need to remind you of the total immersion policy again?
No modern conveniences during the day, and always stay in character. That's why you know what, we're always in costume and we won't have any phones when we need them.
Yeah, it's like we're really living in the Renaissance.
Not really. At the turkey leg concession, we cook turkey legs on a spit. Not at the corn dog hut. They use a propane deep fryer, which is exactly why the place blew up.
What does that have to do with anything? That's across the river at the food pavilion. This is Renaissance Island. Everything here is as authentic as possible. Do you need anything else?
My entrance. What is my motivation?
Are you talking about your one and only line in this prologue to the main performance?
Yeah, the queen is dead line.
You're a loyal subject of the queen. The queen is dead. You are alive. What more motivation do you need?
I need to create a backstory.
This is a Renaissance fair that is opened on weekends throughout the summer. All you need to know is that you are the understudy for a brilliant actor who is missed with each passing moment. I need a breath of fresh air, and we need to move this from the rehearsal scene to the Wooden Oak Theater next door. Jay, will you set the props?
Consider it done.
Plot point. Come back in about 5 minutes and I'll introduce you to Emma.
If I haven't thrown myself into the river by then.
One more thing.
Good grief, what now?
If this Richard Brisbane is so great, your words, not mine, never met the man, so how would I know? What is he doing here at a Renaissance fair? And why does he only have one line?
Richard's career began at a Renaissance fair. Now he's giving back. As for the one line thing, that's something that fans of Richard Brisbane will appreciate. One line for our greatest living actor.
Right. Funny. Knee slapper. My generation appreciates a different kind of humor.
Toilets flushing and bodily sounds, no doubt.
Back to the matter at hand. You do realize that Richard was in other scenes as well, right? He was playing other roles, including Hamlet,
Gotcha covered then.
as well as Romeo.
Romeo? Richard Brisbane's got to be older than dirt. No wonder Juliet stabs herself. I'd be a much better Romeo. I'm a natural. Love is my middle name.
I don't know if the fates are smiling upon you or mocking me. As much as it pains me to say this, you will be playing the role of Romeo until Richard returns.
All right, now we're cooking with gas. Oh, my bad. Just fire. Total immersion.
It pains you? You can't be serious. I mean, what about me? This kid is a total dork.
You're a dork too. Hey, Will is not a dork. You take that back.
Oh, and if I don't?
And she'll regret it.
She'll come around.
Hopefully you won't be crushed by Will's giant ego before you have the chance to plunge the knife into your heart.
If you need help, let me know.
Shall we? Oh, my sanity is hanging on by a thread.
And on that note, two young maidens doth appear, maybe not so very young, but deep in conversation.
Oh, hello, Tom.
Hello, Emma, how's your hip?
My what? Oh, my hip. Better than ever. Almost like I didn't have surgery.
I thought you said you had surgery on your left hip, not your right.
Did I? I must have been confused.
Well, did you miss us?
It's what I haven't missed. We're in this costume.
That's the one rule that hasn't changed. Remarkably, it still fits you.
It's nice to see you. Not really. It's just a nice thing to say. Any word on Lady Prudence?
It's a miracle she wasn't killed. I managed to see her before she was taken away. The woman's a war horse.
You should have been put out to pasture years ago.
Her dentures were blown out, so she won't be able to join us for the next couple of weeks. And she's covered in red marks.
Shrapnel wounds?
No, those are from the seagulls pecking at her. My first day back and there's already a ton of stuff on my plate.
There's more. Trust me.
What do you mean by that?
We'll get you that later. Tom has work to do.
I do?
Some of your words don't rhyme. Ears and fair.
They sort of rhyme.
They sort of don't. My noble ladies, lend your ears. Travel back in time, our Renaissance fair. No.
It's an approximate rhyme, Harris. Or is that perhaps?
Whatever you call it, it sounds forced and unnatural.
I'm improvising. I imagine the wandering minstrel as the forerunner of the modern rapper.
Think of your imagination like a litter box. It needs to be emptied.
If you can do better, take the loot.
That's not a loot, is it?
Why don't you find a truncheon and beat me with it?
I'm just merely making a suggestion. A better rhyme would make for a better rhyme.
How about hairs? Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your hairs. As if anybody cares about rhyme and meter. Do you know how hard it is walking around this fake Renaissance town, improvising lyrics and wearing tights?
Not as hard as seeing you in those tights.
Are you making fun of my legs? You know what? Not cool. I'm tired of your insults and criticisms. I quit.
No, you are under contract just like the rest of the players. No one is quitting.
Contracts can be ripped up.
And the board will enforce those contracts. You don't have enough money to defend yourself against the den of snakes the board has working for it.
Then it's time for plan B.
There is no plan B. No one is quitting.
How about my noble lords and ladies? Everyone, we have an adventure to share. Come, travel back in time with us to this, our Renaissance fair.
Bravo! See, honey works better than insults and a stick of dynamite. Good stuff, Emma. Harris has been struggling to fill in.
Doing your job as well as mine has almost sent me over the edge. Who knew actors and actresses could spend so much time talking about themselves and needing praise?
I have work to do.
On your way, there's a rhyming dictionary in my office. Could you also deliver the box of stage weapons to the O?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Do you ever want to hurt someone?
Usually? No.
So sometimes yes.
Yeah, the board members have stripped me of directing duties.
You're still a theater manager.
It's like a bread bowl without any stew in it.
You've had 6 weeks to recuperate.
Hips heal a lot faster than egos.
It was all about the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
Numbers can be made to say anything you want. I'm not friendly with numbers.
In the 3 years since medieval world has opened, they've been killing us. We've seen a straight decline in both attendance and profit.
Every place has its ups and downs.
3 years of straight downs and no ups. We are no longer on the edge of the abyss look in. We are in the crater. You have to admit, this could be our last summer.
People used to love the fair. What's the attraction of the medieval world anyway? The medieval period goes from the 5th century to the 1400s. It's such a long, dark, and depressing time. What's better than 16th century England? We have Shakespeare and Shakespeare and Shakespeare!
And Shakespeare is a tough sell these days.
The Renaissance Fair is a world of poetry, enlightenment, universal truths, and heady ideas.
Young people don't want universal truths and heady ideas. They want actions and thrills. Medieval world has a Game of Thrones type of vibe. The Renaissance Fair doesn't have a vibe.
That's quite the sales pitch, Harris. You should work for medieval world instead.
Emma, you know I am the biggest advocate for the Renaissance Fair.
I wonder. We have a vibe. We have action. We have oxen rides, jousting, drinks rooms, sofa blow, helium balloons, actors, just historical figures.
Not sure Tom in tights is a selling point.
We have death defying. The food pavilion across the river has all sorts of heart attack inducing deep fried foods, not to mention exploding corn dogs.
It's not enough. Medieval world has interactive attractions and rides. They're planning on bringing a new roller coaster called the Black Death.
Celebrating the plague carried by fleas is grotesque, and it's not authentic either. The medieval period didn't have roller coasters.
And the Renaissance Fair didn't have helium balloons. You have to admit, the dark past beckons a bright future.
I don't like it. and I won't accept it.
Try to keep an open mind.
When I left, we were doing Romeo and Juliet. Now we're doing scenes from Shakespeare.
We're still doing Romeo and Juliet, just a short scene. The board put out a request, and Margaret had an idea. They loved her idea. She was hired sight unseen.
House in an office tower. Not one of them has been here since the day we opened. Scenes from Shakespeare is Shakespeare light.
3 hours on a wooden bench is agony. The board wants patrons in and out of the theater so they can spend their money elsewhere.
It's always about money, isn't it?
We know who the liberal arts major is. The Renaissance Fair is a business, just like any other. There's one bottom line: profit.
So this Margaret, what's her name? What's her story?
Margaret Peer, I've asked her to meet us here.
Sounds French, as if they know anything about Shakespeare.
She's not French, but she's also not from the area. Her idea is Shakespeare kills me. It's brilliant, don't you think?
Yes, a killer idea.
Ever since Margaret has come along, there's been a whole new type of thrill to this project. It's the kind of thing we should have been doing all along. Emma has no imagination.
Mimi! Somebody's here.
It must be Margaret.
It's not Margaret. It's taken him long. What's he want? He didn't say? He's over at the O? No, it's alright. You can go ahead and cross back to the office. Thank you.
How do you put up with that nonsense?
What nonsense?
She doesn't speak.
She's a mime. That's what mimes do. Or don't do.
But she's a secretary.
And a very good one at that. Puts her head down and doesn't say a word.
She doesn't even speak on the phone.
That's because
She's a mime. I know. No one is a mime 24/7.
I don't know that she's a mime 24/7. I don't see her outside of work. She takes her job here at the fair as a mime very seriously. You know, her parents were mimes.
How many times are you going to tell me the story? Her parents were mimes. They worked at the Renaissance Fair before it went out of business. And then they joined the circus. And then once the circus burnt down, they became storefront mannequins. They have never worked a real job a day in their lives. She could be very disturbed.
You don't know that. You can always ask her.
She wouldn't respond if we asked her. Plus, she's dressed as a French mime, not a Renaissance mime.
Harris, do you know what Renaissance mimes look like?
No!
What an absurd human being is that?
Mime.
Yes, that mime. I despise mimes. Mimes are universally despised. Why is that? Never mind. What have we here? The long-absent theater manager has finally returned, and the general manager and the con-have. May one hopefully surmise you're ready to sell this Renaissance not-so-fair.
No, we're not.
Oh, you speak for the board now.
I speak for the board, but Emma's right. We are not ready to sell.
Do you really think you can keep this pathetic farce afloat for much longer? Do yourselves a favor and remove it from life support. Allow it to die with dignity.
We've made a lot of big changes. One of those including our new artistic director.
Please, that ridiculous replica of the globe was my first stop. I thought I might find you there. Instead, I stumbled upon a circus act. I didn't see anything especially creative going on there.
You will. The Renaissance Fair is back bigger and better than ever.
Ugh, I smell...
Yes, you do. And it's most unpleasant.
I was going to say that I smell desperation. Whatever these crones do, whoever they bring on board, the Renaissance Fair is no match for medieval Rome. We have made the fairest of offers. If they imagine they can hold out for a better offer, none will be forthcoming. Each succeeding offer will be less and less than the one before. I aim to crush the Renaissance Fair. I aim to crush the Renaissance Fair, once and for all. The dark past beckons a bright future.
Huh. Dark past beckons a bright future?
For medieval world, that is. Not for you. I see you're not persuaded by sound reason. Therefore, I shall bid you adieu.
Nice outfit, by the way.
All part of the medieval world will live.
What an odious creature.
I adore him.
You adore him?
Abhor him. I abhor him.
Harris, let's make this quick. Romeo has just poisoned himself. If only it were so. and Juliet has taken knife in hand. Valuable rehearsal time is slipping away.
Emma, this is Margaret, our new artistic director. Margaret, this is...
The one who's been on vacation for 6 weeks.
Hip replacement. I'm your predecessor.
The pleasure is yours, I'm sure.
Hopefully you won't take this personally, but I've never heard of you.
Do take this personally, but I've never heard of you either. Does that make us even?
The thing is, I travel in Shakespearean circles, but not once has your name come up.
Well, you do know what they say about those who travel in circles. One is bound to get dizzy. Is that all, or is there some other irrelevant matter you would like to discuss with me?
I was hoping the two of you could work together.
I'm not a collaborator, and I'm sure that Emma has her hands full as theater manager while I attempt to save this theater from near death.
There's been an incident. Juliet stabbed herself.
Yes, that's what Juliet does. It is a ritual that has been performed thousands of times throughout the ages.
Not like this, it hasn't. The actor Skylar, she actually stabbed herself. There's blood everywhere. She probably punctured a lung.
Oh my god!
Is it serious?
I mean, a knife to the lung, usually.
Great! Now I will have to find another Juliet.
On the compassion meter, that didn't move the needle.
Right, sorry. I'm in shock.
Not entirely convincing, but better. Somebody ran to go get the medical team, so an ambulance is already here.
Unless he's being hauled around a cart. So much for total immersion.
You have made your point about the total immersion. No need to run it to the ground.
This is so upsetting.
Upsetting? You don't even like Skylar.
I'm not talking about her. It's everything else. It's been one thing after another.
I'm sorry, what is she talking about? Who are you? Have we met?
I'm Brielle. I'm the new Ophelia.
There is an old Ophelia.
Not old as in old, but as in she's no longer with us.
She's dead?
Fortunately, no. But she was found in the drench a winch tank with no recollection or memory of how she got there.
And we have a new Romeo?
That's me.
What has been going on since I left?
Skylar is one lucky young lady, very close to severing a major artery.
Is this the same Julia I cast when I was directing?
She's the same one, but now she's on her way to the hospital.
And she stabbed herself with a prop knife?
I'm actually looking into that. Why are you looking into that? I'm the sheriff of Richmond. I don't understand.
Ellen is the sheriff of Richmond.
I know Ellen is the sheriff of Richmond. I wrote the prologue to these scenes.
Like, in real life, Ellen is the actual sheriff of Richmond.
Oh, isn't sheriff a ceremonial position?
You're not wrong, but I'm also a DCI.
Oh, whoa. That's your business. I don't judge. I say live and let live, but I do not want to hear about it.
Detective Chief Inspector. I'm retired.
Oh.
Will someone please tell me why we have a new Romeo? Where is Richard Brisbane?
Richard has gone missing.
Richard Brisbane, the greatest Shakespearean actor of our time! How's that possible?
We were rehearsing in the O, and he was complaining about how hard the tune was. So he went to retrieve a cushion, and, well, we haven't seen him since.
He was probably fed up working with amateurs.
I thought quitting was a violation of the contract.
We don't know that Richard quit. Plus, he's a star. You're not.
Is anyone else missing?
Well, it's Jayla Douglas, who plays Cleopatra, and there's also Logan Wells, who plays the Duke of Clarence. They both went missing a few days ago.
And has the police been reported?
No, because there's thoughts that they're romantically involved.
Oh, that's so sweet. Just like a real-life Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet die at the end of the story. You know that, right?
Okay, fine. Earlier when the hormones were on fire, Romeo and Juliet.
And so, my friends. Hey, friends. Try as we might, we cannot ignore the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant in the room?
Ellen's mother.
Oh my God! That is so uncalled for. Mother just happened to be in several wrong places at the wrong times.
You know, if your mom was not involved in these incidents, she has some serious karma issues.
What incident?
Since you left and Margaret took over, there's been some strange mishaps.
Strange? That's an understatement.
First, an ox was shot in its rump by a wayward arrow. The beast went berserk, knocking everything over in the glass blower's tin, getting tangled up in Jacob's rope ladder, and knocking over a row of porta potties.
My mother was in one of those Johns. Now every time she sees a porta potty, she screams. It's the whole thing.
Then there was the giant board competition.
Oh no.
A rope lifting a world record board snapped and smashed a mobility scooter.
It was my mother's scooter. She hates gourds now too.
There was also the incident in the apple bombing tank. Someone placed all the apples with horse apples. Those are not the kind that grow on trees.
You know, mother still has nightmares about that. Apples haunt her.
There's also the thing with the kid.
A child?
Oh, it was one of those crazy things. A kid got launched across the river into medieval world by the trebuchet. It's a miracle he wasn't hurt.
The Renaissance Fair is supposed to be family friendly. Was your mother involved in that too?
Yeah, the kid landed on her, which is why he wasn't injured. She tries to kick random children in the park now. So. So many restraining orders.
It's like the X-Files and the Twilight Zone had a baby together.
Is there anything else? Why was your mother at Medieval World?
What do you think after all of the events that happened here?
Man, I really don't know my lines.
This is why you don't come to the first show.
Well, you know that the Renaissance Fair opens like this weekend, right? So you need to learn your lines. I'm sorry, it's been a stressful thing.
My gosh, get it together, Brielle.
I know my lines.
You don't know what my
Okay, Dave, Will, nobody asked.
Margie, you need to calm down.
Brielle, your line is Ellen's mother. Ellen's mother.
What is
Shouldn't be allowed to come here.
Ellen's mother should never be allowed to come here again.
There you go, Brielle. And honestly, that would not bother her. I don't think she would come here if you paid her.
I would pay her.
Why?
Now that I think about it, I've never seen you and your mother in the same room at the same time. Strange.
You know, that's really funny, considering the fact that your literal job is to rip the legs off of turkeys.
That is unrelated.
Everyone calm down. We've had a few setbacks, but I say we put them behind us, learn our lines, and everything will go back to normal.
Yes, we really need to continue, but first, I cannot have a wheezing Juliet. Brielle, you're the new Juliet. Yes! I need to learn my lines now. You sure do. All right, we need to get back over to the O so we continue rehearsing and so everyone can memorize their lines. Let's go.
Hey, Jay, in your many roles as actor, juggler, and head of props, how on earth
Did Skylar end up with a real knife?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I put the prop knife on the prop table like I do for every rehearsal.
Did anyone happen to see you put it there?
I don't think anyone saw me. I wasn't really checking. Wait, hold on, Ellen. This doesn't sound very friendly, Ellen. Are you accusing me of something?
Look, I just have to ask these questions to rule you out as a suspect.
So what you're saying is that I am a suspect and I will remain a suspect until proven otherwise.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Says the one who has been arguing with Skylar since the day we started.
That's a fair point, but you're also completely and entirely wrong.
Ellen, Jay trying to kill Skylar doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem very smart.
I don't know if you know this, but criminals aren't necessarily very smart people.
Alright, let's say I did do it. In my not so smart, deranged mind, what is my motive?
I don't know, we're still in discovery. You could just not have a motive.
I don't.
Oh, I should have gotten all my joints replaced. Is there anything else I need to know?
Well, my balls are missing.
Which comes as a surprise to absolutely no one.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Like, seriously, someone stole my juggling balls.
You couldn't have said that before.
No.
Hey, one for comedy, alright?
The storm has come, raindrops pour. Thunder cracks, furious winds do war. Oh, 2 days hence. It's 2 days hence, all is well, at least it seems to be. Our lovers twain play their scene. They wish to not flop, but fortune has another aim. The other shoe will drop.
Sorry I couldn't join you for lunch at the food pavilion. I was getting an update on the storm that's headed our way. There may be disruptions, but we will press on. Now, I hope everyone is well fed and ready to continue rehearsing.
As well fed as someone can be with food prepared in a tent.
I noticed someone hung a skull and crossbones signs at the main choreography session.
Nah, that's always been there for some reason. I don't know, emo teams.
All right, we need to get this show on the road. Romeo and Juliet, you're on.
Aren't you in the scene?
Not anymore. Skylar's back.
She's out of the hospital?
Hi.
And just 2 days ago, she was near death.
Yeah, her injuries weren't that severe. Still, she is most frail.
That's why I should continue the role of Juliet. There's nothing real about me.
Indeed, you are a hardy one. All right, everyone take your places. Skylar, you're laying on the tomb. Willow slumped beside you. Imagine that it is night and you are in the Capulet family vault. It is cold, dark, and dank. Romeo is dead in a heap next to Juliet on the slab, and Juliet is awakening from her death-like slumber, courtesy of the friar and his magic potion.
Oh, this is hard.
All right, Jay, cross to the tomb.
Juliet! Juliet!
Juliet awakens slowly. Oh, comfortable friar. Where's my lord? Where's my Romeo? Oh, yes. Now I remember well where I should be, and here I am. But where is my Romeo? Oh my gosh! Why are you laughing, Will? This is a serious scene.
How does Juliet not know where I am? I am right beside her.
She is waking up from a very deep sleep and is trying to get her bearings. Here will be a sound cue.
That seems like overkill.
That was obviously not the cue.
May I have everyone's attention? 2 things to report. First, note the stilts broken too.
What? My Milt? He just got back to work today after being off for a broken leg.
Now he has 2 broken legs, and he fell into the swine pit.
Wait, does this mean he won't be able to do his tightrope routine anymore?
With crutches? I would pay to see that.
I really should go see him.
I wouldn't. He smells awful.
I can play Juliet during your absence.
That won't be needed. We're closing the Renaissance Fair for the rest of the weekend.
Because a guy fell off his stilts?
Because of the approaching storm. It's supposed to be one of those once-in-a-lifetime storms that, actually happens 2 or 3 times a year. The people movers are moving people back to the front gates to issue rain checks.
This weekend is going to be my acting debut.
It is hard to understate what would have been missed.
How does stilts break anyways? Especially 2 at the same time?
Is it possible that there was foul play? Yeah, but who would do something like that?
This may be a coincidence, but Zagan Hemlock was in the park earlier.
Then why aren't we talking about the S word? I think everyone here knows what I mean.
No one here knows what you mean.
The S word! Sabotage! How else to explain these bizarre accidents? We have actors missing, our first Ophelia almost drowned in the Drenchowich tank, the corn dog hut exploded, and Lady Prudence got hurt, and now Milt the stilt.
You think this is the work of Zagan Hemlock?
It's a no-brainer. He works for the competition, Medieval World.
I despise the man, hate him even. But even I wouldn't accuse him of something like that.
Are you guys really trying to say that someone tried to kill me?
Are you really that clueless?
I don't know. I thought it was an accident. I mean, really, who would want to kill me?
Me! I've thought about it several times, and so far I've exercised restraint, but I cannot promise you that that'll continue.
We didn't say anything because we didn't want to alarm you. It's the kind of thing that might send someone over the edge.
I am over the edge! I am alarmed! I'm scared witless! We need the police here! Oh, and I don't mean you. I do not trust you.
We don't need the police to tell us who the killer is.
Nobody's dead. Why would there be a killer?
If Richard Brisbane is dead, then there is a killer.
I was going to say Richard Brisbane should be our #1 suspect.
What if Jayla and Logan didn't look? What if Richard killed them? Or maybe Richard killed Jayla and then Logan? Or maybe Jayla killed Richard and then Logan? Or Logan killed Jayla? Or maybe
Nobody's dead, and all these bizarre accidents are really just bizarre accidents.
why are you so keen to ignore the possibility of murder?
Because nobody's dead. I don't know where these people are, and I can't explain it, but until I see a corpse in front of my very eyes, I refuse to go there.
Just because no one is dead doesn't mean that someone isn't trying to sabotage the Renaissance Fair. Whatever, we continue on. Will has a lot of lines to learn. Yeah, but shouldn't we be on the lookout for Richard Brisbane? Just in case?
Richard Brisbane isn't a man who can easily hide in a crowd. He'll be fine. I
Hank. Places, please. Okay, yeah, I
Oh,
really
dear God,
don't.
you're here.
I feel as if I were expected.
Wait! You! Are you the one that sabotaged my boyfriend's stilts?
I would make a sarcastic and demeaning comment, but I feel as if you're serious. So the answer is no. I'm here with medieval poet's latest offer.
Pinky swear.
Pinky swear.
Silence! We are trying to rehearse!
Yeah, I really don't want to sound like a broken record, y'all. This thing, this tomb, feels like it's made of cement. It is so uncomfortable. That's what tombs were like. They were made of stone.
Yeah, but this is a prop. It doesn't have to feel authentic.
Jay, cross to the tomb.
Juliet!
Juliet awakens.
Oh, comfortable friar. Okay, seriously. He may be comfortable, but I'm not. This thing is killing my back. Now I know what Richard Brisbane was complaining about. Okay, we will find a cushion. Go on! Where is my lord? Where is my Romeo?
About that.
Jay, that is not the line.
I'm sorry. I just did so many different scenes with so many different characters. I'm getting all jumbled up.
In the immortal words of the bard, a man in his time will play many parts.
Well, Shakespeare also said more of your conversation should infect my brain. What with the storm, the stabbing, the explosion, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot to process. You were asking about Romeo?
Ah, yes. Now I remember well where I should be. And here I am. Where is my Romeo?
Cue noise.
Noise.
I hear a noise. I hear a noise, lady. Come now from this nest of nest of death. Contagion, an unnatural sleep. A greater power than we could contradict. Hath. I cannot say that word. Hath. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Hath thwarted our intents. Thy husband in thy bosom lies dead.
Just so we're totally PC about this, I am not in Juliet's bosom.
Will, you are so gross and so immature.
Thank you, Will. We all know what Juliet means. Jay, continue.
Thy husband lies dead, and perish too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. What's my next line?
Get thee to a nunnery, and quickly too. Wise men know not what monsters you make of them. Get thee to a nunnery, go.
No one says that. Not in this play, at least. Jay, the line is stay not to question.
Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. I hear a noise. I dare stay no longer.
My sentiments exactly. It's getting rather nasty out there, and I really ought to be going.
Shut up! Fire! You exit! Go, get thee hence.
Juliet discovers this chalice.
What is this? A cup, enclosed in my true love's hand. Poison hath been his timeless end. Oh, Charles, drunk on, left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison doth hang there. Whoa, gross! Okay, Richard Brisbane might be as old as my grandfather, but he's a much better Romeo than you are.
Yeah, but he's not here. It'd be like kissing a corpse.
Will! Shut up!
I really ought to be going.
Shut up! Yeah, noise, then I'll be brief. What is this? A dagger? Oh, happy dagger. There are daggers of men's smiles.
Those lines you were stumbling over aren't even from Romeo and Juliet. They're from other Shakespearean plays.
Oh, I'm sorry that the dagger is freaking me out. I'm sorry, I'll get it together. Can I please just have a cushion? My back is killing me.
there's a cushion in the coffin somewhere. Mimi will get it for you.
It's Richard Brisbane!
Questions are many, answers few and rare. We must not lose hope and give way to despair.
Where has Richard been taken?
He's been taken to the cellar below the tavern. It's cool there.
That's what I thought. A pretty cool place.
Yeah, we said a little prayer. Richard Brisbane was quite a man.
In more ways than one. I don't believe my back will ever recover. If I'm being honest, I didn't care for the man, but I didn't wish him ill. Okay, maybe a little. He could have written his own take of that medieval world. Instead, he decided to waste his talents in this low-rent farce passing itself off as culture.
Wait, where's Margaret?
You sound as if you miss her.
I definitely do not, but we need to know where everyone is at all times.
I was in the ladies' room, if that's important.
Margaret's at the Oak collecting production notes.
I can't imagine she plans to continue rehearsal.
I mean, it'd be a great way to get our minds off these ghastly events.
Tragedies have a way of doing that.
On that sad note, I shall brave the elements and bid you adieu.
I'm afraid you won't be going anywhere. The drawbridge is up.
That's inconvenience.
Ah, Rich has a manual crank in case of emergencies like this.
The crank is missing too. Wait, who would do something like that?
Someone very irresponsible, and when I find out who, they will be written up.
You didn't see anybody on the other side of the river?
In this downpour, not a soul. Not even a light.
Wait a second. I thought you were going to the Oak for some notes. What were you doing at the bridge? What were you doing at the bridge, Margaret?
Trying to get out of here! This place is a nut house! I want out!
Don't you people have phones?
They're locked safely in my office across the river.
But wait, you must have a phone.
Of course, right. Unfortunately, it looks like it's in my car.
You knew that was coming.
Then we're stuck here.
No, we're not. We have an emergency satellite phone.
We do?
A well-organized theater manager always has a backup plan. Maybe I'll get it. Given the fact that the tomb is made of wood, it seems really unlikely that Richard suffocated. I think it's time we start considering the fact that Richard Brisbane didn't die of natural causes. There's no signs of violence?
And they can't bring yourself to say murder.
The man was stuffed in a box. Of course he was murdered.
My sabotage theory is looking better and better. We need to be finding a way out of this nest of death.
That's my line.
You can't even say the line!
I'm so sorry. That was really rude of me. I can't really get over my stabbing and finding Richard in this box. I'm sorry. Plus, I've never even screamed like that in my life.
Look on the bright side. It was a pretty good scream. Quite convincing.
You think so?
Show me what you found. Here you go. Speak! You've got to show me, Mimi. You've got to. This could be a matter between life and death. You'll be safe with me. All right, go on ahead. I'll follow you. The rest of you, wait here.
I have a bad feeling about this. I'm about to pee my pants.
We all have a bad feeling about this.
I don't see how these will help. A satellite phone without batteries and a voice recorder? That's a puzzle. Say, outside of you and Mimi, who all knew of this stuff?
Not anyone I can really think of, but it wasn't exactly,
Well, someone found them. I bet whoever took the batteries also stole my balls.
Does the recorder have batteries?
It does, but they don't fit the satellite.
Mimi found Jayla Douglas. That's why she screamed.
Technically she didn't scream. I am just saying.
Is Jayla alright, or is it really bad?
It's really bad. She's been strangled with a plumber's auger.
A plumber's what?
It's a long coiled cable used to unclog drains. And before you ask, Skylar, no, her drain wasn't clogged.
It only seems like a matter of time until we find the body of Logan Wells.
What if Logan?
Don't say it. We can play what if until the cows come home.
We have cows? Where are the cows?
I don't know a lot about Shakespeare, but I have a thought.
You drop in your dime and it comes up cherries every time.
What are we missing here? And I'm just spitballing.
Cha-ching.
Before I came aboard, Richard Brisbane was playing Romeo, right? Romeo died of Juliet's tomb.
So far, the earth hasn't moved. Go on.
That's where we found Richard, dead in Juliet's tomb.
We're confusing where with how. The tomb is where Romeo died, not how he died. What is your point?
Wait a second. I don't know what my point is. Romeo was poisoned. Do you think Richard Brisbane was poisoned as well?
Richard Brisbane might have died of cardiac arrest while he was trying to grab a cushion.
Given his age and diet, that's very possible. Richard liked those corn dogs as well.
You need to leave the detective work to the professional.
I think the kid might be onto something. It is a very eerie parallel.
That might be so, but good police work relies on fact, not speculation, not fantasy, and not eerie parallels.
Will, are you saying what I think you're saying?
As I've stated, I don't know what I'm saying. It's all a bit fuzzy.
Are you saying that our theme, greatest Shakespearean death scenes, is being played out for real life?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That is ridiculous.
Nothing like this is going on in medieval Rome. He may be the Dark Ages, but apparently they're much more sane and enlightened than you folks.
Even if Richard's death was like Romeo, what about Cleopatra? She was killed by a deadly asp.
A what?
An asp, a venomous snake.
Stop the press says? I have another thought.
Folks, we have won the lottery.
A plumber's auger is also called a plumber's snake.
Why didn't we see the parallels before? Our first Ophelia nearly drowns herself in the Drenchwich tank.
And
Ophelia, in Hamlet, Ophelia drowns herself.
And I almost stabbed myself to death, just like Juliet did.
And Romeo is poisoned. $100 says that Richard Brisbane was also poisoned.
Snake kills Cleopatra. And Lady Prudence almost gets blown up at the corn dog concession.
Yeah, I think we all can recall the memorable scene from Much Ado About Corn Dogs, and of course the wonderful Still Walker of Venice.
How does Ellen's mother fit into all this?
What is your deal with my mom?
They don't tie in with the theme. You can't blame me for any of this.
Your name hasn't even been brought up. Why would we suspect you?
Because I came up with the theme, great death scenes from Shakespeare. So it will be, hey, I know how these things go.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Oh! Wait, what was it?
Oh, maybe someone is trying to frame you to make it look like you're trying to destroy the Renaissance Fair.
Yes, that's it. Someone is trying to frame me. Someone with a vendetta against me.
My money is on Logan Wells. I say we split up and look for clues. We'll search the island and smoke out that fox. There aren't that many places you could hide, right?
All right, I'm going to stop you right there. I have a question.
Yes?
What role was Logan Wells playing?
George, Duke of Clarence from Richard III. Why?
Good thinking, Hemlock. Clarence was murdered and his body was shoved into a wine barrel. Someone needs to go check the tavern.
Jay and I will go.
Take the kid. Jay is still under suspicion.
Let's do this.
OMJ, trying to kill Skylar doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem possible. You need to let it go.
Remember what Sherlock Holmes says?
Oh, I know this! They were the prince of a gigantic hound.
Brilliant, Skylar! Mystery solved! He says that when the impossible is eliminated, whatever remains is the truth.
And just what impossibility did you eliminate?
Okay, the funny thing about that is...
That's what I thought.
I prefer Arthur Conan Doyle's observation on London. He calls it the cesspool into which all the loungers and idlers of the empire are drained. Except, instead of London, I would substitute the Renaissance Fair.
You know, talk like that moves you right to the top of my suspect list. You don't even try to hide the fact that you hate the Renaissance Fair.
That is a good point. If I said I loved the Renaissance Fair, would you believe me?
Bummer. I'm like, I thought you were on to something.
Nothing in those barrels except for wine.
Oh, what a nightmare. I don't even know how I would feel if we had found him. Because, like, you know, Logan is such a great guy. And, like, if we found him in the barrels, he'd still be such a great guy. But, like, since we didn't find him in the barrels, he's like, oh, really bad guy.
What?
Yeah, I am so confused.
Maybe that's what the person behind all this wants. Chaos, confusion, distrust. What if Logan Wells is alive and is working with somebody else?
You mean one of us?
Isn't it time that we stop dancing around the obvious?
I'm going to take a stab at this. I think Skylar could have stabbed herself.
She did stab herself.
But the wound wasn't fatal.
I stabbed myself with the knife you gave me.
Are you saying because Skylar didn't die that she must have stabbed herself with a knife to, you know, avoid suspicion for all this?
She uses the same knife every single rehearsal. How didn't she notice it wasn't the same one?
Because it was in Romeo's sheath.
Well, then Will's responsible.
I'm not. All I did was strap on the already sheathed knife.
Well, that's what you say.
That is what I said.
That's what I say too. I'll help Logan drop.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
Well, then maybe you planted the knife.
That is unbelievable.
What, did you also try and drown the old Ophelia to take her role?
No. You are freaking me out. Stop. What about her? She said insulting things to me and Will.
Insults are not threats,
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
But you did threaten Skylar when she called you a dirty old hag.
First off, that is not what she called me. She called me a broken down, grumpy old hag. And I did not threaten her. I said, we'll see about that. And we will.
Okay, guys. Ellen is not the person who tried to kill me. The woman's my aunt. Yeah, there, I said it.
Well, maybe you were trying to kill your mother and things just got incredibly out of hand.
You're an idiot. We all need to agree until a definite suspect emerges. We're all a suspect. Any one of us could be working with Logan Wells, assuming he's alive.
I am not agreeing to that.
Nor am I. Of course you can.
You folks are so entertaining.
Now that you've spoken up, I feel like I must mention this. So, a couple days ago, when Hemlock was here, Harris said he adored him.
I said I abhor him. I have a fan.
It's okay. You can admit it.
I said I abhor him.
I know what I heard. And then he uses the same phrase Hemlock did. The dark past beckons a bright future.
That's your evidence of phrase? Do you think I'm working with Hemlock to take down the Renaissance Fair?
Who else then, Einstein?
How about you?
Me?
Yeah, you. None of these bizarre events had really happened until you left for your so-called hip surgery, which you haven't been walking with a walker or a cane. Pretty amazing recovery.
Says the girl who spent, what, 2 days in the hospital recovering from a knife wound?
Skylar's right, though. You haven't had a single limp or pain. If we call the hospital, will we find out you were never even there?
Okay, fine. I made that whole hip surgery thing up. I went out looking for other jobs at other fairs. The places here are too much to bear. I want out!
And destroying the Renaissance Fair would be one way to get out.
They're right. That's Beak's motive.
You made it clear how happy you are here as well. I mean, you asked to get out of your contract, even going to ripping it up.
What? I don't like Harris's management style.
Oh yeah? Well, what about the box of stage weapons I asked you to deliver to the O? That speaks to opportunity.
Is there anyone we haven't accused yet?
It can't be Mimi.
We don't know that. She hasn't said anything.
What about a long simmering grudge? You know, her parents used to own the Renaissance Fair before it went bankrupt and forced them to become storefront mannequins.
Is that even a job?
We need proof, either physical evidence or a confession.
I have proof. The person we're looking for is Margaret Pierre.
Did I not say that the finger would eventually point to me?
You did. You did say that. I heard you.
Remember I told you, I like word puzzles, anagrams, that sort of thing? There are some chuckles, there are some snide comments, that's fine. But let's take a closer look at your name. Margaret Pierre. Not Margaret, but Margit. Unusual, but why? Is it the criminal's compulsion to flirt with chance?
Oh my gosh!
If we rearrange the letters in Margaret Pierre, I think we've all found our killer. See?
Oh my God!
Margaret Pierre is an anagram.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, I see it!
Trim grape here. But what does it mean?
That was one possibility, but the other would be the Grim Reaper. I think we found our suspect.
I can't imagine how I've never seen that before. Could it be because I wasn't a sad, lonely little boy sitting in my room and playing video games? Since Romeo wants to play What's in a Name, let's look at his name. If we take his hyphenated last name, Love Minor, it spells evil moron. But I'm sure he knew that. You know why? Because puzzles and anagrams are his thing.
The train to nowhere has left the station. We'll split up and search the island. If it is Logan Wells we're looking for, we'll find him. We'll split into teams of two. One male and one female.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. If Logan Wells isn't the person we're looking for, that means one of us is stuck with who is.
Well, then we'll divide into teams of three.
That math doesn't check out. There's 11 of us.
Then we could break into groups of 4, or 5, or 6.
Or we just travel incognito as one large group since 11's prime.
This would be so much easier if I had my phone. Because it, has a calculator app on it.
If we had your phone, don't you think we would, make a call?
Oh, yeah. I'll make this easy. You guys divide into groups of 3 and I'll pair up with Hemlock. I doubt anyone wants to be his partner, so I'll take one for the team and pray he is the nut job we are looking for.
Okay, that's hardly a vote of confidence.
Mimi's with me. Who's our third?
I am. Will and I are a team.
It's Jay and Skylar then.
I'll pass. I should really go with Will and Brielle. Jay and I kind of have awkward history.
Then it's you, me, and Jed.
Let's go.
How do I know I can trust you?
Suspicion haunts the guilty mind.
Henry VI, Part 3. I know my Shakespeare. I hope I'm not misjudging you. I am putting a lot of faith in you. Goodness gracious. That rain is blinding. It's blowing horizontally. And don't even get me started on the wind. And my hair, it has to be a fright.
No luck?
None. If Logan's on the island, I can't imagine where he's hiding.
I think he's escaped the island.
Well, I wish we had proof of that.
Nothing. Will thinks Logan escaped the island.
Wait, where are the others? Tom and Jay?
Margaret and Hemlock aren't here either.
Shortly before you guys came back, Hemlock came back alone.
Without Marquette?
That's what alone means.
He said there's been an incident down at the bridge. He asked Tom and Jay to go with him.
What? It is a dark and stormy night, and there's a murderer on the loose. What are they thinking? These stories never end well.
Hey, look, we don't need to worry unless they don't come back. Then we can worry. A lot.
I can't leave them out there alone. I need my coat.
There's already enough of them out there, and there's 3 of them.
4, if you count Marquette.
If you add Logan to the mix, that makes 5.
And one of them might be a maniac.
2, if you count Jay.
Will, you're not thinking of going out there alone, are you?
No, I was thinking you'd come with me.
Are you insane? I'm not going out there, and neither should you.
Look, sometimes a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, and I'm not good at giving speeches.
You're an actor. That's literally what actors do.
The world is a crazy place, and it isn't always fair. You take a seat at the blackjack table of life, and you play the cards you've been dealt. Sometimes you stay, sometimes you tap the table. There's 2 things I'm sure of in this thing. You beat the house, or you don't. Now I'm going out there, and I'm playing the hand I've been dealt. Good luck. Wish me good luck and give me a kiss.
You've been kissing Juliet, and I have no idea where those lips have been. I'll just wish you the best. Good luck, cowboy.
Cowboy? It's the Renaissance. What?
Bad news?
Margaret here is dead.
Yeah, that's why he wanted us to go with him, to see, for proof.
It's her, all right, on the other side of the river.
The dress is a dead giveaway.
Just so we're clear about this, you didn't kill her, did you?
No, she cornered me when I couldn't get off the island and said we need to work together. Later, when we found Sir Broken Mouse, she revealed her plans to put the Renaissance Fair out of business so medieval world could expand. She promised to make me a co-owner if I helped.
Was she behind those incidents involving my mother?
Yes, when those accidents had no effect on this place, she moved on to murder. Logan Mouse had been helping her from the start. He knocked out Jayla and Richard Brisbane. She wanted to murder each of you in the same way as the roles you were playing. But then he turned on her and attempted blackmail. After taking care of him, she didn't care how it was done.
Where is Logan now?
Likely in the river.
So why did you go with her to the river in the first place?
She wanted to use a storm as a cover to surprise anyone who came by searching for Logan. When I said I wouldn't go along, she flew into a rage and tried to attack me. Instead, she lost her footing, and that's when I came back here.
I'm not convinced.
No more murders should prove I'm telling the truth. Now, I don't know about you, but I could use a drink. I'll be at a tavern if anyone needs me.
Stay out of the cellar. I can smell it from here. Richard Brisbane's getting ripe.
The tavern employees left shortly before the storm.
That means drinks are on the house.
Oh my God.
Underneath, drink it!
The deed is done. All dispatched. Down they dropped, one by one, tending bar. Their celebration did not last. A pinch of hemlock in every glass.
Bravo. Well played. I was hoping you would prove to be a better ally than the lately lamented Logan Wells. I do hate to dirty my hands, but blackmail requires a finesse that Logan did not possess.
Those fools were having such a glorious time cursing. They didn't suspect a thing. Come, let's go to the tavern. I'll show you. We'll celebrate with a toast.
No need. I already peeked through the tavern window. Too ghoulish for me. We'll celebrate our victory here. Besides, I brought the good stuff. Not that swill they serve in the tavern, but first, the vial. Mustn't leave loose ends.
The story of you planning all this, and then falling into the river, they lapped it up. I think it's safe to say that you pulled off the greatest Shakespearean death scene in history.
I especially liked the part where I wanted to get off the island and was scared but couldn't leave because the drawbridge was raised. A toast.
To the Grim Reaper.
To the imaginary Margaret Pierre, whose drowning death was an illusion thanks to a mannequin. My plan was perfection. Destroy the Renaissance with a bunch of ghastly murders and medieval world in which I'm an investor takes over. The dark past is now the bright future.
You really are Lady Macbeth. The police will arrive and see all these bodies, and won't have a clue we were ever here. As the bard says, all's well that ends well.
Well, that's not quite true. It doesn't end well for you. The police will find your remains and a confession. You were overwhelmed by the magnitude of your evil. And you poisoned yourself.
I don't understand.
You will very soon. I'm afraid some hemlock has found its way into your glass. Zagan Hemlock dies by hemlock. I love that irony, don't you?
You really are the Grim Reaper.
All the world's a stage, and this woman in her time plays many parts. Out, brief candle, out! Farewell, sweet little prince. Adieu, adieu. Well, Margaret, you know what they say. All good things must come to an end. And it's time to retire this character. Those final performances, that final words, too bad they fell on dead ears. Oh, never to be heard again. To a drowning death was an illusion thanks to a mannequin. The imaginary Margaret Pierre, whose unfortunate drowning death was an illusion thanks to a mannequin. My plan was perfection. Destroy the Renaissance Fair with a bunch of ghastly murders in a medieval world in which I'm an investor takes over. The dark past is now the bright future. You can never trust a man to do a woman's work. Nevertheless, I haven't come this far to be bested by a mime. What? No last words? As Shakespeare said, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. Well, Mimi Mouse, your plans have gone awry. You and your tape will soon be found at the bottom of the river.
It's over, Margaret. In the words of Hamlet, you've been hoisted by your own petard. Not the same knife that you left Schuyler, but as you said, the best laid plans. That's Robert Burns, by the way, not Shakespeare.
It turns out they had your more conscious. He told us everything at the tavern. We played our deaths to perfection in case you climbed at that little grimy pole of yours to witness your carnage.
All we needed was Mimi's confession, no, your confession on tape, and Mimi has it all.
Oh, that fool Hemlock! I am glad he's dead!
As it turns out, sometimes a man is the master of his own fate.
No, I put enough Hemlock in your glass to kill a horse.
Fool, That vial was filled with a harmless substance. If you were willing to do away with all these innocent people, could Zake and Hemlock be far behind? Your dark past has no bright future. In fact, it's curtains for you.
And so, the storm is done. The sun doth shine.
I've got this, Tom. The storm is done. Sun doth shine. Justice reigns with all. And so, dear friends, our production ends. We thank you, each and all. One task more before we go. I promise it's our last. Theater thrives thanks to you. Now time to meet our cast.